Chapter 13. Echoes of the Past. Squall stirs in Balaam Gardens infirmary, eyes fluttering open to sterile white walls, a dull ache pulsing beneath bandages, his scarred brow furrowing as he wonders what happened, the fog of unconsciousness parting as the memories crash in. Idea's wax-dripping auditorium, Cypher's desperate stand, Renoa's trance-like collapse, her limp form haunting his vision, the sorceress's cryptic words about orphans and Elone. Heart lurching, he swings his legs off the cot, gunblade propped nearby, driven to find Renoa, pacing through the infirmary's quiet halls of cadets, tending wounds after the battle, until he sees her, unconscious on a bed, her face pale, bruises fading along her neck. Dr. Kadawaki's steady voice assuring him she's stable but needs time, her monitors humming softly. Squall lingers, his hand hovering near hers, thoughts swirling. How deeply he cares. Her gaze in the auditorium fueling him. The fear of what he saw, her kneeling by Cypher. A vision he can't unshake, his chest tightening with unspoken need to protect her. A crackle breaks his reverie. Sid's voice over the PA, calm but firm, summoning him to gather Irvine, Selphie, Quistis, and Zell and head to Idea's orphanage, the stone house by the sea, holding answers to Ultimatia's shadow and Elone's fate, Squall's resolve hardening as he turns. The infirmary's glow fading. Renoa's still form a quiet spur. The ocean's call pulling him toward truths buried in their past. Squall strides to Balaam Gardens Bridge, the hum of turbines steady beneath his boots. His gunblade a reassuring weight as he meets Irvine, Selphie, Quistis, and Zell. Quistis stepping forward, her calm voice recounting the auditorium's end. After his collapse, Idea vanished with Cypher. She and the others tended to him and Renoa, still unconscious but stable, while rallying Seed cadets and Galbadian refugees, needing aid, their losses light, choosing not to pursue the retreating Crimson Spire until a full recovery. She adds Sid has already departed for the orphanage, Squall musing aloud that answers may finally await, his scarred brow set as the garden sails toward Centra's shores. The orphanage looms, a crumbling relic, its stone walls cracked, ivy choking faded shutters, the slanted roof sagging under time's weight, wildflowers overgrown in a tangled yard. The nearby lighthouse's spire splintered, its beacon long dark, a husk of the warm haven Irvine once described, now unkept and whispering neglect. Inside, Sid stands in the dusty hall, his spectacles glinting, voice heavy with shame as he faces Squall and the party, admitting he often hides when battles rage, fear gripping him, his choice a torment, Idea, his wife, or them, locking directly into Squall's sight, a no-win bind that forced him to shield her possession, hoping Seed's strength would free her, his eyes downcast, pleading for understanding and forgiveness. He leads them through creaking corridors to the back, overlooking the lighthouse's jagged silhouette, where Idea steps from the shadows, Squall's gunblade flashing up, the party bracing along with him, until Sid's raised hand calms them, his voice firm with trust. Idea approaches, her black robe soft, golden headpiece dim, her voice gentle, nurturing, a stark shift from the sorceress's rasp, naming them her orphans, Squall, Zell, Irvine, Selphie, Quistis, recalling their childhood laughter by the sea, her role as matron, not monster, and how proud she is of them, despite that they faced their matron they didn't back down, for the good of everyone, a truly selfless act. She also warns that despite how she currently presents it is not over, and at any time control may slip to Ultimecias, revealing she has been possessed by Ultimecia, a sorceress from a distant future many generations ahead of our time, who wields immense power. She is a very fearful sorceress, whose heart is filled with anger and hate. Idaea's own heart torn by the pain she wrought, her eyes glistening as she asks after Elone, fearing for her safety, revealing she surrendered to Ultimecia's possession. A desperate act to shield Elone from the sorceress's grasp, ensuring her safety from Ultimecia's reach for Elone's mysterious power. Her words are balm yet heavy with guilt. Squall's grip on his gunblade easing, the party's tension softening. The orphanage's broken stones, a silent witness to their fractured past. The lighthouse's shadow framing a fragile hope. Idaea recalls sorceress Adele, a fearsome Esther tyrant whose power she inherited long ago. A ruler whose ambition scarred nations during the First Sorceress War, until sealed away, her legacy a burden Idaea bore, explaining her yield to Ultimecia, to shield Elone, whose time-linking gift drew the sorceress's hunger. Her eyes glisten as she explains a sorceress cannot perish until passing her power to another. Her choice to take Ultimecia's will, sparing Elone that fate, her actions, Delling's chaos, Galbadia's siege, not her own, but a nightmare she couldn't halt. Her heart breaking for the pain she caused, begging forgiveness for failing them, for losing herself to a power she couldn't fight. She warns of Ultimecia's reach, seeking to bend time and merge with Adele to form an unimaginable power of hatred and anger, urging the party to find her alone, to stop the sorceress and save the future. Her voice trembling with hope that the children she raised to defy fate, stronger than she ever was. Her plea a vow to aid their fight. Squall stands, his gunblade lowered, scarred brow tightening as he turns to Idaea, and asks what happened to Rinoa, his voice low but urgent, the image of her collapsing in the auditorium, kneeling by Cypher, head snapping back, burning in his mind. Her unconscious form in the infirmary a spur to his question. Idaea's nurturing gaze falters, her hands clasping as she admits Ultimecia's touch grazed Rinoa. A fleeting shadow in the auditorium's chaos. Not possession, but a dangerous echo, leaving her body strained, her spirit caught in a fragile sleep. Though safe for now, her words heavy with guilt for the sorceress's reach and being no use of help now. Sid urging Squall to remember he's not only fighting for himself or Rinoa, but many others who have also been in battle. No matter how painful not to forget the objective, the key to thwarting Ultimecia's time-twisting will. The orphanage's faded walls echoing their childhood bonds. The seas whisper beyond urging them to act, Squall's heart tethered to Rinoa's recovery. The path ahead, a tangle of past and future. Squall lingers in the orphanage's dusty room, his gaze drifting to the cracked windows, thoughts swirling around Rinoa's fragile sleep, and Idaea's plea. Memories flicker, her smile in Fisherman's horizon, the auditorium's white flash, Elone's shadow, his mind heavy with unanswered fears. A voice echoes within, calm yet piercing, unravelling Ultimecia's plan to compress time into a single moment. It speaks of Elone, whose power to send minds through time draws Ultimecia's hunger, a key to her dominion. the sorceress seeks to merge all eras, ruling a frozen eternity where only she exists, unchallenged. Time compression, the voice warns, bends reality, and only Elone's gift can unlock its perilous chain. Squall's scarred brow tightens, the voice fading, resolve hardening to find Elone and shatter Ultimicia's dream. His dreamy haze interrupted by Quistis, who urges to return and let Garden know their next steps of the mission. Squall agrees reluctantly, his mind racing as to what he experienced, and more so how to save Rinoa. Back on Balaam Garden, Squall stands on bridge. He grips the PA, his gunblade propped nearby, voice firm as he addresses the garden, declaring their new mission to find the White Seed ship, where Elone hides, her time-linking gift the key to stopping Ultimicia's plan to compress time, urging every seed to ready for battle at any moment. Their resolve a shield against the sorceress's shadow. Cadets in navy nodding below. Irvine and Selphie reveal confident smiles to each to her as they sit in the courtyard listening to the announcement. He cleans the barrel of his rifle, and she is polishing her flute, a quiet resolve and relief they feel with their newfound direction. Zell's fists eagerly clench as he waits in line at the cafeteria, as he is re-energized by Squall's and the matron's words, rekindling some of his childhood joy he used to so freely expressed. And Quistis's calm, resolute standing behind Squall at the PA on the bridge, proud of the shy cadet she used to hold command over, and the lengths he's grown before all their eyes, all of their unity forged in the orphanage's truths. He steps away, thoughts heavy with Rinoa's absence, pacing and drawn to the infirmary's sterile glow where she lies, her face pale, bruises fading along her neck, monitors humming softly, Dr. Kadawaki's assurance of stability, a thin comfort. Squall kneels beside Rinoa, the confident stature he held on his way over to the infirmary gone, his scarred brow softening, hand trembling as it hovers near hers. Her stillness a knife twisting in his chest, whispering exactly as his heart spills, professing she shouldn't worry, there's no hurry. She can take her time, admitting he's always been alone, never depended on anyone. So these feelings are new, confessing he doesn't know what to do. He just wants her to talk to him again, asking her to come back to him, his voice cracking as he vows to be there when she wakes. No matter how long it takes, each word a fervent plea born from a love that now anchors him. Her laughter a melody he clings to. Her courage in Galbadia's chaos a fire he vows to shield. Her gaze a warmth he aches to see again, shattering the solitude he once embraced. His heart laid bare in the quiet, every syllable a promise to fight for a future where her voice fills his world. Her silent form a beacon he'll never abandon. His care a steady flame against the darkness of her slumber. He falls back leaning against the infirmary's cold wall, slowly dazing off to the thought and worry of ever embracing her again. Chapter 14. Shadows on the set. Bright lights and wooden props sprawling under a starry Galbadian sky, the clatter of crew echoing across the mountain trail. Laguna Loire stands at the centre, clad in a clunky knight's costume, a gunblade awkward in his grip, his face flushed with nerves as he rehearses lines for his role as Sir Loire, a hero facing a dragon for the sorceress's protection. Kyros nearby, his daggers tucked, smirking at Laguna's stumbles. Ward laughing with the faintest hint of encouragement. the director barking orders to adjust lights, the crew scrambling with ropes, the project an endless array of mistakes and hurdles. So much so that both Kiros and Ward are requested to enter costume and portray the beats in the scene, much to Laguna delight. The clapperboard slams loud and the call to action echoes throughout the set. Laguna delivering his lines distracted by his co-star's inability to stay in scene, the look of fear almost too real for Laguna to believe she is in character. He turns to see the snarling beast bearing down on them, the cast and crew white as ghosts. He awkwardly raises the gun blade, with uncanny resemblance matching in stance a younger Cypher adopts, expecting Kiros or Ward in the ruby dragon costume. However, sparks flying, causing the gentlest of sears across his arm. Realising no costume could hold such ferule, Mighty screams for the crew to run to safety. They descend into their film trucks and beyond down the trial, Laguna staying to heed their escape a hero on camera, and matching in the moment in person when needed. A ruby dragon bursts forward as its descending form the mountaintops trails, attracted to the noise and set lights, the dangers of on-site filming catching up to the production, its crimson scales glinting, eyes blazing like molten fire, a guttural roar shattering the air. Laguna's grin faltering as he stumbles back, heart racing, the crew's screams echoing in the distance, providing a slight relief to their safety, his shock as the beast's claws rend the set's flimsy planks. Laguna scrambling to swap his prop sword for a machine gun, bullets spraying wildly, his shouts mingling with Kairos' swift daggers as he leaps in, slicing at the beast's flanks, and Ward's harpoon thrusting deep quickly follows, never to leave each other again, the trio dodging tail swipes and snapping jaws, the dragon's roar shaking the crew's scattered props. Laguna's clumsy aim landing a lucky shot in its eye, Kairos weaving through sparks to gash a leg, Ward's strike piercing its hide, their ragged teamwork felling the beast in a smouldering collapse, dust rising as the set falls silent. After felling the ruby dragon, Laguna, Kiros and Ward spot a horde of beasts thundering down the mountain toward the shattered film set, prompting them to leap onto a beaten path. Sliding down the rugged slope to safety on the other side, scrambling to a high ridge where Kiros, daggers still in hand, remarks on the strangeness, noting the set alone wouldn't stir such chaos, their gazes drawn to a blinding light bursting in the distant sky, exploding with eerie brilliance as Laguna gasps in awe, wondering what force unleashes such a spectacle as the flash in the sky fades to black. Squall's thoughts echo around his head, a blank nothingness, an abyss fixed in his consciousness. Questions why he can't disconnect, like previous dreamscape with Laguna. A soft voice echoes thought, reassuring not to worry, that desperate times call for desperate measures, and usually this process works better during sleep, but a plea to just use Squall's spirit a little while longer as Squall mind slips again and drifts deeper away. The weathered orphanage, its stone walls cold and wet under Sentra's downpour, the pitter-patter of heavy rain, a mesmerising audible constantly playing revealing Laguna and Idea, inquiring about Ilone and her whereabouts. Idea confirming location not at this orphanage, Laguna frustrated, travelling and scouring the region for her whereabouts after her kidnapping by Estar soldiers. Idea sharing the concern of Laguna that Ilone's fate might be the successor to the Estar sorceress Adele. Squall can only think of Rinoa during this, and how, past or present, he wouldn't care, as long as he can hear her voice, or see her, and also a chance to save her. His thought interrupted once again, squashing any hope he had in that moment, revealing to him that the past can't be altered. The voice recalling Uncle Laguna's journey to find themselves after they were kidnapped, his unending search resulting in his absence at Rain's side as past, with his newborn left behind without a mother and a father absent, unaware of his birth. The series of events unable to be altered even with such powers. The key revealed that these past experiences can only be achieved through sending Squall back inside someone who they have met before. Squall in silence, trying to understand piece by piece what the future holds, and soft voice relieving him, and echoing to connect in this manner again soon. As her voice fades, Squall realises and awakens himself, screaming out "Sis" in a confused but revelatory manner. Squall jolts fully awake in Balaam Gardens infirmary, the monitor's hum grounding him as Rinoa's pale face, framed by soft hair, her comatose stillness a piercing ache. His cry for Elone, "Sis," echoing, heart racing with a fierce vow to defy time itself, declaring he'll go back to prevent the auditorium's trance that stole her. Her scarred brow set as he rises, gunblade at his side, driven to find the White Seed ship where Elone hides, her time-linking power, his only hope to save Rinoa. Realising the delicacy that trading information of past, present and future between all that are connected, that there must be missing pieces, that they must be able to be changed if the future can be, and thus both Sid and Idea must still have insights to help shape his journey. He storms to the orphanage, Centra's sea breeze sharp against its crumbling stone walls, ivy choking the yard, where Sid and Idea stand in the dusty hall, Sid's spectacles glinting, Idea's robes soft, her golden headpiece dim, Squall's voice sharp as he challenges them for any scrap of knowledge about the White Seed ship and its whereabouts, demanding clues to Elone's refuge, his urgency cutting through their calm. Sid explains with a heavy voice that he and Idea founded the White Seed, a covert band trained aboard a roaming vessel, created to shield Elone from sorceresses like Ultimecia and other evils that come, whose hunger for her time-linking power threatens all. The ship's secrecy their only defence, its crew sworn to keep her safe in hidden waters. His words measured, but tinged with regret. Idea's nurturing nod affirming the mission's weight. Idea positioned as their captain for some time, reaffirming the White Seed's mission, and how the ship has become somewhat makeshift orphanage along the years, helping those in need along the coast, and frequently finding them homes or refuge at this orphanage. CI passing a letter to Squall for delivery if he is to find the White Seed ship. It would welcome them aboard, identifying the fire found in Squall to save not only his friends and family, but his true love. Sid shows his regret at keeping this secret of the White Seed ship and its mission from him for so long, but in the same brief explains the risk it could expose had it gotten out into the wrong hands. They didn't know who to turn to or trust. Idea still spread with worrying about losing her current form to a dormant sorceress deep inside, and revealing the existence of the White Seed ship informs Squall that it sails hidden routes, even unknown to them. Tasked to protect Elone from Ultimecia's reach, Idea's nurturing gaze heavy with guilt, offering only that it roams northern waters. her voice urging patience, warning of Esther's shadow, Squall's fists clenching, determined to avoid failure. Shortly later, Squall stands on Balamgarden's bridge, the sea's expanse shimmering beyond the glass. His gunblade a steady weight as he watches over Nida, directing his crew, voice firm, to set course for the northern waters of Centra's alcoves, charting hidden coves and misty straits where the white seed ship, Elone's refuge, might drift. Nida's nod swift as the garden's turbines hum, cutting through waves toward an uncertain horizon. Gazing at the water's restless dance, Squall's thoughts churn, piecing together the fractured truths unravelling since Delling's fall. Ultimecia, a future sorceress, weaving time's collapse, her will possessing Edia, their matron, twisting her into a tyrant who raised Galbadia, Cypher's betrayal as her knight, his pride lost to her shadow, where Squall zigged, Cypher zagged in every way his dark opposite. Rinoa and their bond together as real as the constant displays of courage form her, through timber to fisherman's horizon, and most recently in the auditorium, now locked in a comatose sleep because of it. Her trance a wound he can't heal. Elone's time-linking gift, the reveal of power unimaginable, sending him into Laguna's past, a soldier whose connection has not been fully understood except his love for Rain and relentless search for Elone, stolen by Estar's soldiers, the cost great, coming in the form of her life and their newborn sons, father and mother, visions and whispers of the old sorceress war, its scars lingering in tales of a sky torn by monstrous tides like the eerie light Laguna saw, a haunting pulse that stirs unease in Squall's mind, a shadow of chaos not yet named. His heart traces the orphanage's faded stones, where he, Elone, Cypher, Zell, Irvine, Selphie, and Quistis shared childhood laughter, their bonds forged in Adea's lullabies. Elone's gentle hand guiding him as a sister he never had, her warmth a beacon in his earliest memories, her absence now a void driving him to find her. Sid's hidden choice to protect Idea, founding the White Seed to shield Elone, a secret ship now their only lead, each revelation a thread in a tapestry of loss and defiance. How much more to be revealed by Sid, and how much did he know already? Was this all meant to happen? Was this his fate, constantly pushed into this leadership role Sid and carved for him? His care for Rinoa, a fire fueling, drowning out these thoughts and focus back the quest to find Elone, to stop Ultimecia before time bends. Rinoa's smile and laughter echoes a steady pulse in his resolve. Hours blur, turning to days, the garden weaving through fog-shrouded alcoves, until a cry from the bridge snaps his gaze. A sleek vessel, its white hull gleaming like a beacon, emerges from the mist. The White Seed ship found at last, its silent promise of Elone's answers stirring Squall's heart. The sea's whispers fading as the horizon sharpens with hope. Chapter 15. Whispers of Time. The White Seed ship gleams in Centra's foggy waters, its white hull a beacon as Balamgarden anchors nearby. Squall leading Irvine, Selphie, Quistis, and Zell aboard. His gunblade steady, only to face White Seed cadets. Their white tunics crisp, swords drawn, demanding their identity, Squall stepping forward with newfound authority. Voice calm but commanding, declaring they mean no harm, sent by Idea, the party noting his confident control encouraged by his resolve. The cadets questioning how Edia could send them, Squall revealing she's freed from Ultimecia's grasp. Though the sorceress's shadow looms, his words sharp with urgency. The White Seed commander, a young man with steady eyes, deems them no threat but doubts their claim. Agreeing to continue protect Elone and urging them to leave, young orphans darting through a deck's background, their laughter a faint echo of the orphanage. Squall observing the crew. Cadets barely younger than him, scarce maturity aboard, a mirror of his own youth. He follows the commander, pressing the letter from Idea, their shared history under her care, binding them as he recounts saving her from Ultimecia's hold, pleading for Elone's aid. But the commander's gaze falters. A wave of shame overcomes him, admitting Elone isn't aboard, recounting their saga. After taking her from Balam Garden at Fisherman's Horizon, they sailed safely for days, only to be hunted by Galbadian ships, their black holes slicing through deep seas, battles erupting as cannons roared, White Seed's blades clashing with soldiers' rifles, narrow escapes leaving their ship battered, until a final stand, their hull splintering under relentless fire. Galbadian volleys met with desperate magic and steel, the young cadets fighting hopelessly, defeat imminent until Estar vessels surged in, their sleek ships scattering the enemy and nullifying the Galbadian threat with their advanced technology and weaponry. Estar soldiers, clad in sleek, silver-blue armour with glowing visors and angular pauldrons, exude a futuristic menace as they board the White Seed ship, their high-tech gear glinting under the sea's dim light. Their demands to release Elone to their security and care, and for all the White Seeds to follow aboard, distrusted as much as Galbadians. The White Seed refusing, pulling guard, until they disembarked, fending off both sides with the clash subsided. As Esther pulled away, Elone, defying her quiet nature, sprinted to the rail past the commander and guards, shouting and diving overboard, swimming to the Esther ship before the crew could stop her, the Esther vessels vanishing with her. The White Seed's damages rendering them unable to pursue. Their plan to seek her in Esther thwarted by need of repairs. Her impulsive leap a mystery. The commander's voice heavy with loss. Quistis steps forward and recalls her and Squall's encounter with White Seed in the training centre after his field exam. The White Seed commander recalls the day that Idea changed, her warmth gone, and at first possible chance exited the vessel to mainland, confused and lost. They returned to Sid at Balam for guidance with Elone, warning what had occurred with his wife, and to take refuge there for next steps. Squall interrupts with mumblings of Ultimecia, highlighting that was the day of her possession that Sid and Ada had feared would come, and how lucky they got that in that state Idea could hold back the information that Elone was right next to her. Squall even recalls on Elone's appearance as far back as the day of his training encounter with Cypher, insisting she was there just before Quistis arrived to the infirmary. The weight and quiescence of fate, given the puzzle pieces of revelations that the party now knows, hits them silent. Squall's focus tightens, and his desire is written across his face for everyone to read, as he turns and leaves the commander's quarters. Quistis encourages refuge for the White Seed aboard Balam Garden, only for them to decline. Their ship is their bond, their garden, their orphanage, and to leave would be to leave themselves. As Squall is passing by the bow, he overhears teachings to young seeds about Hine and the Genesis, the Sorceress War, and many subjects privy to those much older. He has nothing but admiration for the white seed, a seed force that's ideals are so pure and untainted as their crisp white tunic suggests. His perception of them, once clouded by Sid's secrecy, proved incorrect, now another driving force fueling him forward. As he disembarks, Renoa's comatose face flashing in his mind, the orphanage's bonds, Elone's sisterly warmth, urging him to Estar, the party's resolve firm, the ship's gentle sway a fleeting pause, the sea's horizon whispering of a sister lost and a sorceress's looming threat. In the annals of a world woven by destiny, Squall stands resolute on Balaam Garden's bridge, the sea's restless shimmer fading beyond the glass. He commands Nida with unyielding authority to chart a course for Estar. Nida, poised at the helm, hesitates, his voice tinged with caution, warning that Estar's frontier is a treacherous maze of jagged cliffs, swirling sandstorms and perilous currents, a labyrinth of deserts and rocky spires impassable for the garden's vast frame, a daunting trial for any vessel, the horizon bridge from Fisherman's Horizon, known rumoured as the sole path to breach its guarded borders. Shu, clutching her clipboard, her composure faltering, catches Squall's eye, prompting his sharp inquiry into her unease. Her words heavy as she confesses Esther unsettles her and others, its silence since the Sorceress War casting an eerie shadow across the world. Tales of its people shunning outsiders and wielding otherworldly technology, fueling rumours of xenophobic seclusion, a city that gives her the creeps. Research revealing it was founded by settlers on a continent east of Centra, coeval with the Dollar Empire, its mild climate fostering scientific leaps. It waged a global war in history, its arcane and technological might a threat until an abrupt end closed its borders, now hidden to the outside world, powered by rumours of an optical camouflage system. A cloaking veil rendering Estar City, the nation's heart, and a rival to Galbadia, invisible to the world. Squall's resolve holds firm, his orders final and respected by Nida and Shu. Elone's childhood laughter and Renoa's still face anchoring him as the garden surges toward Fisherman's Horizon to heed way to Estar. Sometime later, Balaam Garden anchors at Fisherman's Horizon, its rustic docks creaking under a pastel sunrise, the horizon bridge stretching east toward Estar's distant promise, where their trail beckons. Squall stepping onto the platform with Irvine, Selfie, Quistis and Zell, his heart tethered to Renoa's comatose silence. Squall instructs the party ahead toward the end of bridge. To ensure safe passage for Renoa to follow, they catch salty breeze as they forge ahead. Squall pauses, his scarred brow set as he turns back, to the infirmary's sterile glow where Renoa lies, her pale face framed by soft hair. Bruises faded, but her stillness a piercing ache. He lifts her gently, her form light in his arms, carrying her with care, her warmth a quiet spark against his chest as he strides across the horizon bridge. Fisherman's Horizon's patchwork cranes and solar panels glinting below in the distance, the bridge's rusted rails guiding his path forward. Squall's thoughts swirl, a confession spilling within. Admitting aloud he doesn't understand what's happening, what emotions grip him. His life once walled by solitude, now breached by her presence. Her courage in Galbadia. Her laughter in Garden's glow, now silent. stirring a fear of loss he can't imagine or dare name. His resolve to find Elone and stop Ultimecia a vow to see Rinoa's eyes open again. Each step a silent plea for her return, the sea's whisper below mingling with his heart's unsteady rhythm. Estar's horizon a faint hope as the party's silhouettes fade ahead. Squall's burden both her weight and his unspoken love. The bridge a fragile thread to a future yet unwritten. Hours later, as Squall steps off the bridge to a deserted railway station on the first sight of land, its rusted tracks and crumbling platforms stretching towards the great Salt Lake's ashen expanse ahead, and tone of earth colours a dry sand leading into steep slopes, at the end of the station where Irvine, Selphie, Quistis and Zell wait, their faces dusted with salt, eyes widening at his burden. Before words can form, a figure emerges from the haze, Idea, her black robe soft, golden headpiece dim. No longer the sorceress's pawn, but the matron of their orphanage days. Her sudden presence startling Squall. Unsure if they have their matron present or the cunning sorceress, concerned until her nurturing voice, gentle and unbroken, stills them, revealing she is also on her way to Estar to seek Dr. Odin, the reclusive scholar whose studies on sorceress powers might hold the key to thwarting Ultimecia's grasp over her body. Her words laced with urgency and guilt for the chaos her possessed hand unleashed, urging the party to let join their quest, so she can rid herself of the sorceress's curse. Squall concern turns to Rinoa's limp body, where she once wore the Odin bangle during the clash at Delling City. Squall agrees and instructs Zell and Quistis to both protect Idea on their trip, and also watch for potential trouble with the return of the sorceress and possession over her body. Selphie and Irvine inform from their earlier scouting of the Great Salt Lake's ashen wastes ahead, their face still dusted as they report to Squall, Rinoa still in his arms, at the deserted railway station, declaring the journey to Estar treacherous, jagged ridges and barren flats offering no glimpse of a city so grand, its absence baffling, Irvine's rifle slung as he shrugs. Noting only beasts lurk ahead, clear as day, while Squall, gunblade steady, insists Estar lies hidden, cloaked by rumours of arcane technology, his voice firm, urging unity to face whatever comes. They nod as they press forward. Idea, her black robe swaying, voices concern atop a rocky ridge, upon seeing the vastness ahead, fearing the journey's length, risks her recapture by Ultimecia's shadow. Zell's gruff reassurance ringing out, vowing their togetherness shields her. The party crosses jagged mountaintops, strewn with colossal monster carcasses, their skeletal husks jutting from stone, wondering how and why their fate lay here, and what possessed the power to do this. They press forward, battling swarms of undead beasts, ghoulish torsos clawing, spectral forms wailing, unseen on other continents, and if not for Idea's magic flaring, dispelling them with radiant bursts, her golden headpiece glinting, the party wonder to their possible fate here too, exhaustion slowly creeping in as they reach a higher ridge after higher ridge, only to continually gaze at vast nothingness each time, despair gnawing, their return seemed doomed now. Their peril met by a rumour, they stop on a cliff edge to rest for breath. Rinoa's limp body bearing down on Squall, his scarred brow dripping beads of sweat. A responsibility he does not view as a burden, but a duty and obligation to their love. Zell, frustrations boiling, the party mending their wounds, form the countless battles and terrain. silently echoes his attitude. He hurls a rock into the distance, but it falls terrible short, striking an unseen barrier with a metallic clink, the horizon flickering like a static screen. The party's confusion as to what they witnessed breathes new life and energy into them. Drawing closer, they feel a cold metallic wall, but their eyes deceived by endless sky in front of them. Hands tracing along, they can hear the faintest of hums of electricity flowing, until Zell feels a hidden ladder. Climbing to a handle, pulling a hatch open in doing so, and revealing tunnelled walkway. A sight their eyes cannot fathom. Floating in the sky, 10 feet up, surrounded by mountain ranges. As they step, the hum of circuits and main wires grow walking down the hatch's corridor, leading them onto a massive moving platform that hums across a black divide. The party's unease palpable. As they wonder if their eyes continue to betray them, Squall's voice cutting through, refusing to turn back for Renoa's sake, his scarred brow set. Emerging through a blinding light, the camouflage system starts dissolving 1 pixel at a time in front of their eyes, unveiling with each panel dissolving Estar, a radiant metropolis sprawling across the eastern continent, its crystalline towers soaring, woven with neon veins that pulse like living light. Silver spires piercing a violet sky, encircled by a translucent dome shimmering like liquid starlight. Elevated bridges arcing over lavender deserts. Airships gliding silently, their sleek hulls catching dawn's glow. A city born from the Sorceress War's ashes, founded by settlers east of Centra, its mild climate nurturing scientific marvels, now cloaked by the optical camouflage system, a rival to and on its surface superior to Galbadia, its streets bustling with robed scholars and gleaming drones, every corner whispering secrets of arcane and technological might, the party's weary steps echoing on polished paths. Ilone's trail, and Dr. Odine's knowledge, a fragile hope in Esther's enigmatic heart. A city both wondrous and shadowed. A world touched by marvels, the party steps off Estar's moving platform as it comes to its destination, awestruck by the city's radiant sprawl. The party's gaze frozen as they marvel what lies before them. Squall, Renoa draped over one shoulder, her comatose form a steady weight, drawing his gunblade with the other hand, voice sharp pulling them form their wonder, warning that if Estar wields such technology, their presence is already known, urging readiness when a piercing ring shatters their hearing, vision blurring, their stance giving out kneeling them. Zell letting out a cry of panic, questioning what's happening. Squall's thoughts racing. No, not here. Not now. His scarred brow tightening, the city's glow fading into an uncertain haze.